And it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. Oh, another one of those. Pretty cool. And you'll be doing stuff like this where you get a bunch of hopefully crystallized life or something like that. Let's see. Let's see what this one gives us. Nice, life force. Very cool. And things might even get out of hand. Let's see. Oh boy. You'll be able to place down a lot of explosions, blow everything up, get all kinds of neat rewards. Holy cow. It's a lot of fun. And you'll be able to come back from a normal map with tons of weird, crazy loot. These things are worth a lot. Let's see. This one just alone is worth 40 chaos. Nice. And there's all kinds of stuff in here. I hope this is I hope to get you to this point where it's easy to do this. I didn't juice up the map, meaning spend a lot of currency making it better and better and better. I just elked and go. That means just made it a rare map, and I went in there and had a good time with it. And I got all of this stuff. And there was more on the ground. So let's get into the episode. Ooh, I didn't even know until I checked this item. But this item is worth quite a bit. Let's see. 300 chaos. More than that, probably more. So I'll race maybe 350 chaos. Out of that map alone, this is a lucky drop. But I probably got almost 3 divines. And that was just a map I fired up just to do the intro. And even this one, let's see. Maybe this one is worth a lot. Nope. That's cool. Let's see how much this actually sells for. I think I might be able to sell it for 2.1 divine and 2.1 divine. Say yes. We're going to update the database by jumping in and out. I hope that used to work last league really quickly, but this one might not. And then let's take a look at how much the price is in divine. Oh, so chaos are worth only about looks like we got an order for one. So let's invite them and sell it. So it's a little more than 2 point and some chaos. So that was quick. I probably could have got a little bit more out of that, but it's okay. And we'll trade them. But that's a really good item. Nice. Cool. There we go. Pretty nice, pretty lucky run. Nice. Hello and welcome back to Path of Exile Necropolis League. And this is episode 11 of the new player Endgame guide for mapping and everything else. There's so much information that I'll try to go over it step by step. And in this episode, we're going to go over some basic tips and then also introduce you to the Maven and some of your new things that you're seeing on your map device. So let's do it. Also, I'm going to do a recap so you can skip ahead as well. And there's chapters at the bottom that outline different sections of the video, so you can jump ahead to those as well. There's the first episode. I'm trying to make these faster because the episode recaps take a long time. You can pause and look at it. Chaos recipe, premium stash tabs, item filters. You might be able to go back here to your, as you progress through, you might need a more restrictive item filter. So go back to filterblade.xyz and either choose a new one and download it, follow the instructions, or link your account and try, maybe very strict is starting to be more important for you instead of just a strict loot filter, because you're seeing too many things. PoE Awaken Trade, very important. Divination cards, you might have a bunch of these and starting to get full stacks, so start turning them in. Earning your first divine, you should have divines by now. Perma movement, speed flask, those are really important to make. I should make an episode covering how to make a variety of other ones too. It's a very similar method, but there's a little bit of differences. PoE I went over some tips and how to capture Pantheon bosses. If you press your Y key, there's a bunch of buffs that you have to unlock, but then you get them permanently. So it's really important. And spending Atlas points. All right, not bad. All right, one of the tips is once you're in a map and all of a sudden, let's say you're dying over and over again, it's possible. Right up here, usually I keep this down so it doesn't explain it, but you can just click this button and it'll go over all the different modifiers on this particular map, and you might find one that says monsters reflect elemental damage, and if you're doing elemental damage, you're just going to get insta killed most likely. Or if it's reflect physical damage, or let's say you're a leech build character and it says, oh, right here, monsters can't be leeched from. This elemental weakness is not as bad, but it's a, you know, all these things can be of importance to you. So you might want to go over these and see, hey, oh, I missed something. This is a map that had really bad modifiers on it, and you can move it down like that. Also, let's say you're tired of seeing this. It's probably not a good idea right now, but later you can always get rid of this as well, just by going into options, games, and enable quest tracking, just like that. And I think I still have to, it still wants me to go do that one. There's other things down here as well. You can put, like, see how I got this, where it's like that? You can do something like this and get rid of it. Let's say you don't want the transparency stuff all around. You know, you just want a nice, clean look to it. You can expand it, all that kind of stuff. So I'd mess around and make sure you got that correct for you. Let's say, if colorblind, you can actually put the sockets and have little designs on the sockets, because sometimes it's hard to see red, green, and yellow. Always show sockets, really, really important, because let's say I bring that up, and if I don't have that on, look at that. That's not good. I want to be able to see the sockets as I'm going. I want to see sockets all the time. So I would go over a bunch of these. Also, there's even one for show. I think it's you could mess around with this one, but the icon, there's something for you can put your life bar over your head. Let's see, show mini life bar. Where is it? Here? There it is. You can put that over your head. There's all kinds of things, so take your time and go over that as well. And let's go back to the hideout. So as you're progressing through yellow maps, the tier 5 through 10, you should start to see a couple of things, a couple of NPCs, something to do with the Maven, and then you're going to see something maybe to do with an envoy or somebody, an NPC to talk to that has to do with Eater of Worlds and Searing Exarch and Eater of Worlds. And what these guys do is, if you do a task for them or a certain thing, or maybe you just talk to them, you're going to get this item that you can't drop, but when you walk up to your portal device, this thing will pop. All of a sudden, it'll unlock this, let's say. And this is the Maven. And you're like, oh, what is this? And a new quest will pop up over there, and it will say, defeat 3 bosses and of level 6, tier 6 or higher, or something like that. So you do those 3, and then I believe if you do those 3, you might have to talk to Kirik, or an item will actually drop, and it'll be some kind of invitation to go fight the Maven. And you're like, oh boy, I got to fight that. And it's not that, the Maven fight is not that bad. It's pretty easy. It gets harder and harder and harder, and then it can get really hard with a Maven invitation towards the end, but it's part of the boss progression. And there's people that just do bossing and really get into it, because there's like mini boss type things, then there's the regular versions of bosses, and then there's uber versions of bosses, and it just keeps it's there to give you more and more challenges with interesting and really good rewards. One of the things, as you're progressing your maps, you'll see this little counter thing. All of a sudden, you can choose which map. As you open your map, I can say, hey, I want to do Maven influenced maps, or this kind of influence in it, or the Searing Exarch. And it gets kind of complicated. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but you can pick those, and it influences the map to do different things, and it also gives you the ability to progress this. As I progress this, I get a reward either dropped, like an invitation. If I progress all the way through here, I think you get something at the 14th mark and the 28th. Defeat the map boss at the 14th time and the 28th time, and you'll receive an invitation. And these invitations can be worth quite a bit. Let's see if I pull this up. This one's 15. You can get some that are worth 75. Chaos, this is more probably 20 even. And you go through things like that. Now the Maven, once you progress her to a certain level, you start seeing this stuff, and it's like, oh, what is all this? Well, that's part of more bossing and more more interesting things. And you see how one of those is highlighted? I actually went on the trade site and actually looked up Lair of the Hydra, and I bought one of the maps. And when I bought that, it was a tier 16, and it was only like 9 chaos, so it wasn't that bad. And I just wanted to show you that you can complete these things too. And if I were to go on there and buy a Maze of the Minotaur, all those first 4, then I believe this guy right here will start popping up, and he'll give you the ability to do something. Not that he'll give you the ability to open up and fight a special boss that way as well. I don't want to get too drowning in the details, but that's the case. And this is how you buy specific maps. So let's do that next. But in general, you'll start seeing these things, and let's say your maps are too difficult. You can always just turn it off, because Maven witnesses, when you're doing the Maven witnessing, all of a sudden the map is a lot harder. She's in there and doing things. Even this makes it a little bit harder, and this makes it a little bit harder. But there's rewards for doing so. Most people definitely have one of these on and get the rewards and either sell them or use them. The other way, when you're looking at your maps, let's go to a tier 16. And see that little icon right there? That means the Maven's already witnessed it. So if I run a bunch of these again, and she's witnessed this one, I can't advance this little counter. So I would have to look at her like this, and it says, tier 14 plus map bosses, while the Maven is present, will advance this counter. So it's like 1, 2, 3, I don't know, it's 10. So you go through there. So I could run this map, this map, this map. I could run tier 14s down here and, do it that way and advance that counter, and then you get that invitation or a fragment. So that's how you advance it, and you just can't do the same map over and over and advance it for her. For these guys, you can actually advance the map using the same one and get a reward here and then it there, and then you can sell it, and you can make a lot of money. You can make like a divine, like over 150 chaos rolling this and doing it. So it's pretty cool. Now let's go see if we can buy some maps. Okay, let's push clear, and we're going to start this over from scratch. So normally it would show up and you're right here, but we're going to go over to the bulk item section, and this can work for bulk buying of maps, anything. But we're going to say chaos, and then I'm going to type in, I can't use the squiggly line to type and make it a fuzzy search. I actually, when you're doing the bulk searches, you actually have to type in the actual name. Like, watch this. If we were to type in divine, it'll highlight the divine. But if I type this, it shouldn't. See, it doesn't understand that there. In the other search thing, you can do searches that are fuzzy searches with that tilde key by the escape. So now, Lair of the Hydra. Okay, it should say down here. See how it says 1 match found? So we click that, we scroll down to tier 16, and there it is. So then we click it, and I've made it so I can search at the top and the bottom through the settings. I showed you that earlier. We search, and it's right, and then I scroll back up. The settings to get a search button at the top and the bottom of the list are right here. Controls search at the top and the bottom of the layout. And it should come right back to that, and search. There we go. So here's somebody selling 2 of them for 8 if you wanted to do 2. There's somebody selling 8, but you only need 1, so you just buy 1 or 2 or how many you want, and then you go run it, and then you find the other ones, and you'll have all the fragments, and then you could advance that part of the Maven quest line. You also get favorite maps, and you can favorite maps, but that's another thing I don't want to get into. There's so much more to this game, guys. It's really amazing. But let's say for some reason you were, let's go to the filters. Let's go back down to the map section again. This is a really neat thing. Let's say for some reason, we're going to take this off. Let's say for some reason you were missing tier 10 Overgrown Shrine, this one, and this one. For some reason, these three, and you don't want to buy them one by one, you could do this. Come down here and sell it, group by seller. Now here's the thing, the prices are going to be a little bit higher because you're relying on one person to fulfill the whole order. So we're going to say yes, but it might not be too much higher. So we're going to say yes. We're searching for one person that'll sell us all three of those. Not bad, pretty cheap prices. Let's find out. So in total, so if we say, oh, these are all AFK, so let's try this guy. And look at that, we're paying 6 chaos per. Now, if you buy them individually, you might get them for 1k, or not 1, but 4 chaos, but you won't find a person, they won't have all of these. So, we go over here, and we move it until it says 1, because they could have like 10 of these maps. And then this one, look, I only had to move it there. You don't want to move it all the way over to the right, because then all of a sudden you're buying 6 of them. We don't do that. And then, you just kind of just drag and left click. Oh, looks like 1. And this is gonna build this whisper right here. And it'll say, hey, I want to buy this one, and this one for 18 chaos. You go there and you got to give them a little bit of time because they got to get in there and find a tier 10 and a tier 11 and the right map for you. And you direct whisper them, and you can get all 3 maps for 18 chaos. And that's how you can find multiple maps at once. But it's really cool. All right. So I hope this helps you get over the situation where you're either missing some maps and you want to buy a bunch right at one, the missing ones, so you get more Atlas points, or how to get those, how to get the Shaper influence maps and things like that. Now you can actually get those to drop, and you could do it that way as well. There's multiple ways. You don't have to buy these. You can actually get them to drop and actually influence it to get those kind of maps to drop more often as well. But in general, that's how you do it. All right, I hope that explains just some of the basics with this map device, with the different beacons, things that you can use to activate on it. In the future episodes, I've got one planned. A lot of people are having trouble. Let's say they hit 78 or 80, and they're having trouble getting EXP and having trouble getting levels. I'm going to have a video just dedicated to doing that as well, so it'll get you over that hump. And then there's so many different videos. My brain, I was like, what about this? What about that? So I'm going to keep on pumping out these episodes, and I'll try to do my best. There's so much to explain. I mean, there's all of this. There's more about Delve and why it's important. There's, Elva and her temple. Tujin, I mean, just an example of this. Yeah. You've probably seen these things, but you can actually haggle for stuff. Let's say you want some chaos. I could pay, and it looks like I could pay for these chaos. I could just go like this and say, hey, will you take that many? No, but he'll maybe take that many. There, and I just got 5 chaos. And then you could use these coinages right up here, these kind of things, and you could re-roll. So let's say you didn't like anything here. You're like, nope, I don't want any of this. You could re-roll this, and there's a chance that he'll offer you divines. Let's see. Oh, he's going to offers 10 amber oils. Well, how much is 10 amber oils worth? This is the most expensive one. Well, that's going to be pretty costly. But he'll give us a frost bomb that's quality 19, all kinds of stuff. But there's a lot more to this. There's ways you can craft with these guys, all kinds of stuff. But let's check how much this is worth. So we say 10 of them, and in bulk, it looks like 10 chaos for that. So it's not a good deal. This I wouldn't buy. You're better off just buying that, I think. But that's to give you an idea of how much is out there. There's heists. There's all kinds of things, guys. It's amazing. Have a good time. I don't want to get too off track, and enjoy. There's so much to this game. It's amazing. And don't forget about this guy. He might have a quest for you that'll unlock more things. So keep an eye on him. Have a good one.